I watched her leave the lab, then took out my phone. There was another thing I needed to check. What was happening with Amadeus? Oh no, she's gone!
I know. Hey, why don't we take a bath tomorrow?
Huh? It was common in Japan to carry around your own personal set of chopsticks lately, but not spoons.
Wait, is that Kudits? Didn't Kudits say that?
Hold on. Are you freaking... Oh, I lost my sneeze. What the frick is your problem? Hold up, I'm sorry. How's it going, everybody? HoodlaMutt here, back with some more Steins Gate Zero. And last time, my entire heart was filled to the brink. Oh, it was so great. We got to see Kudits alive again in the Alpha World line, which we got taken to after answering a call from Kudits, Amadeus Kudits, when she asked us to help her. And we went to the Alpha World line again and saw Kudits, and it was wholesome, and then really sad because we had to leave her because she wanted us to be able to save Mayuri and so on and so forth, and it was just sad. So, now we're here. We were taken back via a newly created phone wave name subject to change, or technically I guess it's the time leap machine. So, time leap, it's the time leap machine 2.0, I guess you could say. So, yeah, now we're here. Back, I'm assuming in the beta world line, but I have no actual idea if it worked, so I guess we'll find out. So here we go. Color gradually returned to my blacked out vision. The lab started to come back into focus. I could tell immediately that the world line had changed. I could still see Kudits when I closed my eyes. But she wasn't in the development room anymore. It was like the whole thing had been a daydream. I felt like I'd been caught in the boundary between dreaming and wakefulness. I was back. Back to a world without Kudits. This wasn't the Alpha World line. There was no point in bothering to check. A moment ago, only Kudits and I had been in this room. And now everyone was here. Oh, did he go, like, right back? Oh, no.
Oh, Karin, what's wrong? Are you sick?
No. I'm fine. Mayuri.
Want some medicine?
I'm fine. No need to worry. Lukako. And...
Really? You shouldn't push yourself.
Kagari Shina. If Mayuri and Kagari were here, that meant I was back to the beta world line. I'm just a little hungry. I haven't eaten anything all day.
Come on, Okarin. You need to eat, or you won't get big like Uncle Daru.
I'd rather skip a meal than end up like him. Huh?
Okay, Mayushi will make something then. You will, Mommy? Can you? Aw, Kagari. Not you too. Yuki's been teaching me things lately.
Okay then, I'll help too. Wait.
Huh? Sorry. Should I not help?
No, that's not it. That's not it at all. I looked around at everyone, and then back at Kagari. Miss Sheena?
Aw, Okarin. I said you could just call me Kagari.
Something was different. Okay, Kagari. Can I ask what you were calling Mayuri?
Huh? I called her mommy.
Why?
Why? Because she's my mommy. Right, mommy?
Oh no, he's not on the same world line. I didn't even pick up on that. I don't know why that didn't hit me. I just kind of accepted it. I just was like, oh yeah, no, she's totally your mom. But I thought, I for some reason, I was thinking we told her about all this, but we didn't. Oh yeah, what the frick?
It's kind of embarrassing to hear that.
I felt vaguely dizzy watching Mayuri fidget in embarrassment. Then the two of you know that you're mother and daughter in the future?
Huh? You're the one who told me about her.
I did?
That's right. You said it would be better to know the truth, right?
Oh no.
Yup.
Did I really tell them? Did I tell them something so important? Then does Lukako also...
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to listen in. But I heard it anyway.
Lukako lowered his head in apology.
Oh, but don't worry. I haven't told anyone. And... being able to share in everyone's secrets kind of made me happy. I would have been happier if you'd told me directly, but...
Even Lukako knew about Mayuri and Kagari. Which meant that, of course...
Still, I was surprised. I thought that the time machine was only fiction. I had no idea you could make it real.
Oh no, he told everybody, why? Oh, frick. Okay, what the... Where did they... So she didn't put him back where he was. Oh no. He knew about the time machine. Evidently, I hadn't simply come straight back from the Alpha world line. I was in a world line slightly different from the one I'd been in before. The divergence meter I'd used before was gone now. That meant I didn't have a precise number, but this all felt very different. The problem was finding out what was the same as the old world line, and what was different. Oh no. Kagari, can I ask some more questions?
What is it?
I showered Kagari with questions in an effort to find out what was going on. Here's what I learned. First, Kagari retained her memories of her childhood. In other words, of the year 2036. Oh. She knew Mayuri, Daru, Suzuha, and also Faris and Lukako. But as for what the world of 2036 was like, and how she'd become Mayuri's daughter, she hadn't told them the details about that. Fortunately, they hadn't seemed interested in knowing about their futures. Everyone always thinks they'd want to know what their future holds. But when the chance finally comes, fear outweighs your curiosity. The future wasn't always a happy thing. Knowing the future might destroy your dreams. It might be a death sentence, like it was for me. Some people would lose all sense of meaning in their lives if they knew that there was inevitably going to be a war in which 5 billion people died. Then it was definitely your staying at Lukako's that brought you here, right?
Yup. And it was you who brought me and Mom together, Okarin. Don't you remember?
Right. I just thought I'd double check, you know?
Double check, huh? You're acting weird, Okarin.
Kagari going missing had happened almost exactly as I remembered it. The same was true of how she came to us. And you don't remember anything about what you were doing while you were missing?
Nope, not a thing. The first thing I can remember is lying on a bed in a temple.
She was still missing some of her memories, too. In other words, in this world line, the only memories she had were of her childhood and of the last few weeks since she'd woken up in the Chiba Mountains. The most important part was still missing. Was there anything else I needed to ask? I was staring at the floor, trying to think, when I realized that something was missing. The floor is clean.
Oh, I cleaned it before you came.
No, that's not it. Wasn't there a little hole in the floor?
A hole in the floor?
The lab had been attacked just last night. Oh, yeah! Now it's... Oh, no. It's missing. Oh, that never happened! During the attack, one of their bullets had left a dark hole in the floor.
Was there a hole there? I don't think so.
By the way, how was yesterday?
The party? It was a lot of fun. I've never had so much fun in my life.
They wouldn't say that if there had been an attack, which meant that the attack had never taken place. Was no one after Kagari in this world? No. It was too early to assume that. I still didn't know what had happened when she'd gone missing. Until I did, I couldn't say for sure if she was safe. Just like how sometimes Mayuri's death would occur on different days in the Alpha world line, the same thing might happen a few days later. In fact, it would be better to be cautious.
I hope we can all have another party again soon. When we do, I'll make something. Me too. I'll help.
They all started happily talking about last night's party. At first glance, it was a peaceful scene. But something sinister might be happening, and I just didn't know it. Yeah, we don't know what else changed. No, I knew something had to be happening. The fact that the world line was changing was proof. Why had it changed anyway? Well, because we used the time leap machine. Oh, yeah, well, yeah, he's saying. Yeah, did she not do the coordinates properly? Is that, I don't know. I thought back to the events of that night. First, someone had taken over Amadeus. Kudets had called me and asked for help. The world line had changed right after I'd answered, which meant that the key was Amadeus? Did Amadeus have something to do with the world line change? And what about the group who'd attacked Kagari? Was it all connected? Oh, that's right. So Amadeus's trigger brought us to the Alpha world line, but that didn't change whatever happened with Amadeus, right? So that still happened, but then when Kudets tried to throw us back, did it just throw us to a different world line, like after Amadeus had altered the world line first? So like we're on the world line that happened after Kuditz's world line changed. Maybe? I don't know, that doesn't really make sense, because her change was going to the Alpha world line. That's what made that happen. So, I don't know. I don't see how they're all connected. Maybe I needed to find out.
By the way, Kagari, are you okay on time? Oh no! Break time's over. The owner's going to get mad at me.
The owner? Do you have a job? Oh, is she working at the Brontube workshop? What the heck?
That's right. I'm working at the Brontube workshop downstairs. Wait, I already told you this.
I knew it. I see. In the old world line, Kagari had started working for Tennoji after the attack. That was another difference.
Jeez. You're so out of it today, Okarin. Get a hold of yourself.
Sorry. Kagari hopped up and skipped out of the room. Her words and mannerisms were much more childish than they'd been in the last world line.
Work hard, Kay. Okay. Bye.
Kagari, let me ask one more thing before you go. I asked one final question to Kagari, who was now giving a crisp salute. Does the word Amadeus mean anything to you?
Amadeus?
Kagari seemed to think for a moment.
Nope. Nothing.
I see. She didn't look like she was lying or being sarcastic. She must really not have known. I watched her leave the lab, then took out my phone. There was another thing I needed to check. What was happening with Amadeus? Oh no, she's gone!
Oh no.
I looked for the icon on my screen. Amadeus. The AI that held Kudits Makase's personality and memories. The application which started the program. But the program was gone. Sorry to call you out here. Yeah, that makes sense. Get a hold of Maho, see what happened.
It's fine. I just happened to be nearby.
After seeing the icon missing on my phone, I'd contacted Maho immediately. My goal, of course, was to see what was going on with Amadeus in this world. I had to find out.
So, what did you want to talk about?
It's about Amadeus.
What?
Maho's eyes suddenly went wide. Her reaction surprised me as well. I'd simply said the word Amadeus.
How do you know?
What do you mean? Oh no, she didn't tell us! We never became her little partner to help with Amadeus. Oh no.
How do you know about Amadeus? That program was put on hold last summer, after Kuditz's death.
Oh no! Amadeus was put on hold? You mean the project itself was shut down?
Yeah, that's right.
So what made him... How are him and Maho together then? How do they know each other? Because isn't part of the reason that they know each other because he... Oh, I guess they technically met at the after party. I was gonna say, I thought it was when he stood up and was like, objection, to what that one dude said, but he wouldn't have said that if they didn't, like, try to show off Amadeus, right? Oh, man, okay. She clenched her fists in anger. It seemed the change in this world line was a big one.
Now, answer my question. How did you know about Amadeus?
Because... Should I tell her about the world lines and attractor field theory? Kudets told me that someone at her lab was doing some work on it.
Kudets told you about that?
I decided that it wasn't time to tell her. If I tried to explain everything, I'd have to tell her about D-mail and the time machine. Maho didn't seem to know about all that yet. I could imagine what she'd do if she heard the truth. She was yet another of those people who were entranced by the possibilities of science. Can you tell me a little more about how the project was shut down? What was the reason?
Evidently, there was a complaint from an outside group. Creating an artificial intelligence with human memories is no different than making a copy of a human, they say. It's something that only God is allowed to do. A lot of people in Europe and America like to push their own values on others, especially in delicate matters like these.
Well, I mean, it is kind of like, it is like a kind of scary thing, right? AI type stuff. I mean, there's always different types of people that are kind of wary about it in general, but yeah, I can, yeah, that makes sense. Is that the only reason?
Yep. At least as far as I've heard. The professor and the rest of the team were really mad when they heard that the research was being shut down.
The Amadeus program was stopped. Okay, let's see, I gotta check. Okabe, there's something I want you to tell me. Shouldn't you ask your dad? You okay with asking me? Ask Mayuri. There's something he wants us to tell him. You okay with asking me? I guess that's the best one. I don't really know. I mean, it's too vague to really know, so I guess this one. Yes, I think you can give me good advice. I don't want you expecting too much. What kind of gift do you think a father would enjoy? Your father, huh? I think the darkness within him grows very deep. Or goes very deep. Huh? The darkness? Oh, you know. Darkness, black, a black handkerchief? Maybe that would be a good idea. Maybe, yeah. A handkerchief. Great, I'll do that. But why black? I think your dad probably likes black. For real. Thank you. Thank you, Okabe. Okay. You're welcome, Lukaku. Did that have something to do with the world line change, too? Huh? Wait. So how did I meet Maho? We'd originally met at the Amadeus seminar. Yeah, see, that's what I said. But, oh, was it? Wait, no, because it was the after party, right? Or was that part of the Amadeus seminar? Because that's what I said, but I thought of the after party. So, okay. If that never happened.
What's wrong?
Oh, I was just remembering how we met.
Oh, yeah. That was quite the coincidence, wasn't it?
I asked a few more questions, taking care not to rouse her suspicions, and managed to learn the basic story. Maho had really wanted to see the place where Kudets had died. When she finally went to the radio building, she'd run into me. Really? He avoided that place like the plague for the most part. Remember the one route where we took her there, but it was like really hard for us to enter? Interesting.
I hate to say this, because it sounds so unscientific, but I'd like to think that it was karma, and that Kudits brought the two of us together.
Karma. Or perhaps another example of attractor field convergence. It had already been decided that Maho and I would meet here in Akihabara. But was there some meaning in that?
Oh, right. Tell Mayuri and the others I said hi, and that last night was a lot of fun.
Sure. Evidently, she'd gone to last night's party in this world line, too.
It's given me some good memories of Japan.
Good memories? You're leaving?
Not immediately. Remember what I said? I'm taking over Kudits' research. I can't stay on vacation in Japan forever.
I see. But still, she was only in Japan for another 10 days. I hoped nothing would happen during that time. Amadeus had been shut down and no longer existed. No longer would I hear Kudits' voice. After I said goodbye to Maho, what that meant really started to sink in. I could still feel Kudits' warmth in my chest. Her smell. All the feelings I'd tried to forget were coming back now that I'd seen her. No one will ever be happy in that world line. Everyone will be miserable. That's what she had said. I knew that. That's why I decided to stay here. But that didn't mean I could erase the sense of loss I felt. I went back to the lab to get all this together in my head. The cause of the attack in the last world line was Kagari. And there was a good chance that Amadeus was involved in the world line change that took place afterward. But in this world line, the lab had never been attacked. And the Amadeus project had been cancelled while it was still in the research stage. That meant that two major factors in the events that had occurred so far no longer existed. If they were gone, maybe there was no need to worry too much. But even so, there was still a tiny alarm going off in the back of my mind. Why had Amadeus been shut down? What happened to Kagari's missing memories? If nothing else, I might need to learn the answers to those two questions. I wonder if she had her brain wiped or something when we found her the first time, but in this world line she never got captured or whatever happened to her, so that way she didn't get her mind wiped or anything like that, you know? Just throwing out ideas. I thought for a while, then took out my phone and booted up the Rhine application. Oh, what the heck? Okay, so Kagari now? Oh my gosh, look at her little room. Oh, this must be in the shrine. Okay, we've never been in Kagari's head before. This is strange. Kagari Shina felt happier and more fulfilled than the people around her thought she was. Her memories were missing. All she had now were memories of when she was young. She'd gone to the past when she was 10, and then gotten separated from Suzuha. Her memories afterward were a total blank, with the exception of the last few weeks. Interesting, so in the other world line, she didn't remember anything about herself. This one, she remembers just that little piece. So she still could have had her mind wiped, but she just doesn't remember after getting separated from Suzuha. That's so interesting. Huh. Okay. Her oldest memories after her childhood were of the ceiling she saw when she woke up. It was the ceiling of an old temple, with stains here and there that looked like faces. She remembered being a little scared. Shortly after that, she was given to Yanabayashi Shrine.
Kagari, Would you like some tea? Oh, yeah. Thanks, Luca. Okay, I'll put some on.
That was when she'd met Luca Urashibara. At the time, she hadn't realized that she already knew him. Luca Urashibara was a good friend of her adopted mother, Mayuri Shina. He'd played with her a lot when they were kids. When she was younger, she'd always thought he was a woman. To Kagari's young eyes, he'd been a strong, grown-up woman. At the time, she'd always wondered why Suzuha had called him Big Brother Luca. Oh, poor Luca.
Here you are. Thank you.
But the Luca in front of her now was far younger than the one she had known. He looked like a very pretty girl. And not nearly as strong. So she'd only realized that he was the Luca Urashibara she knew after meeting her mother.
This tea tastes a little different. It's rosemary tea. It's supposed to help you concentrate and improve your memory. I had Forrest give me some.
Improving your memory and finding lost memories seemed like totally different things to her, but she didn't say so. Just the thought made her very happy. Luca, Mama Mayuri, and the rest of Okabe's friends were all trying to help her get memories back. It would probably make most people nervous, not having their memories. It would be hard, not knowing what you'd experienced. But to be honest, Kagari didn't think she needed to remember. Sometimes it seemed like a memory was about to come back. Each time, her mind would roar with a sense of fear and anxiety. Interesting.
Was it not very good?
Luca saw that she'd only taken a sip and stopped, and he seemed worried.
Oh, no. That's not true. It's good. I was just thinking. Thinking? Yup. But it's nothing.
She took a sip of the tea, hoping to change the subject.
Anyway, Luca, are you really a boy?
Wow. That's not a lot of tact there, Kagari. Everyone else said he was, but still, it just didn't seem right to her.
I am. Yeah.
No.
You really look more like a girl, though.
Kagari!
I don't know what to say to that.
I wouldn't either.
I know. Hey, why don't we take a bath tomorrow?
Huh?
What? Then I'll know if you're really a boy or not. No, we can't.
Yeah, what the frick? Why don't you trust him? What Kagari?
Why not? Because I can't take a bath with a girl. Didn't you take baths with your sister? Yes, but that was when I was little. Kagari? Sorry. It was a joke. You're so cute, I felt like I had to tease you. Aww. But if you responded that way, it means you really are a boy. That's what I've been saying.
No, don't bully Lukaku. Even when he was upset, he still looked like a girl, she thought. As you can see, there are dozens of different dishes available, and they're all you can eat. The TV screen had been showing all kinds of delicious food.
Wow.
The sight of it almost moved her to tears.
This time is so wonderful. It's so different than the world I know. Is it? What's the future like? Do you want to know?
Luca looked a little uncertain. And even though she'd asked, Kagari wasn't certain she should tell him. The future she knew was filled with despair. Everyone struggled desperately to stay alive, hoping that tomorrow would somehow be better. If they knew that there was no hope, how would they survive?
I don't think I do.
Kagari sighed in relief.
You're better off that way. The future can be changed.
The future can be changed?
Yeah, that's what Mom said. She said it could be changed. She said he'd change it.
He'd change it? That's what Mayuri had always told Kagari. That was her tiny light of hope.
What was it? Steins... What?
Steins Gate?
Yes, that's it! Mommy said she knew it was real. But I don't really know what it is.
Steins Gate. To be honest, Kagari didn't know exactly what that meant. But each time Mayuri said it, Kagari had felt warmth in her heart. Someone would come to lead them to Steins Gate. When she thought about that, it gave her hope.
And now for our next report. Did you know that memory restoration technology is being studied around the globe? Today we have a special report on an American university that's at the cutting edge of this research.
The news show had finished its food report and had already switched to another topic. Now it was showing a college campus covered in greenery. It was a wide open space that clearly wasn't Japanese. The second she saw it, she suddenly felt dizzy.
This is Victor Condria University. It may seem like just another college campus, but there's a major project going on here right now.
The discussion became more technical. It was far beyond what Kagari, who had only her memories as a child, could understand. But
should I change the channel? Oh, wait!
Kagari stopped him before he could get to the remote.
Kagari, do you understand this? Yeah, they're talking about how the brain works, and whether you could make false memories. Wow, that's amazing. It was too complicated for me.
She suddenly found herself easily understanding what was being said. Why? How? How could she understand this? Oh, wait, Victor Condria, wait! Oh, frick! Wait, is that the one that Okabe wanted to get into, or is that the one he's a part of? I think that's the one he wants to get into because that's where Leskinen was. And if that's where Leskinen was, that means she probably remembers something that's part, her amnesia's not telling her, but she probably had her brain wiped there. That's probably where they were turning her into like the super soldier, right? Because Leskinen in the first route that we took she was like a part of his kind of squad until something happened to Mayuri, right? So I don't know, like, in what way she was, but she seemed to have some sort of a connection with him. Interesting. If I'm right, if I'm remembering that that's what Victor Condria was, if that's not the one that's the one that I think Leskinen's at and that Okabe wants to go to. So,
Yeah? It's not that complicated. Memories are controlled by a part of the brain called the hippocampus, and there's a special part of the hippocampus called the fascia dentata.
She was surprised at what she was saying, but the words kept coming anyway.
When new nerve cells are constructed there, they cause existing neurological pathways to reorganize. That's what makes you forget things. And so when this study team did experiments on mice, they saw false memories created.
Huh.
Oh, look! That room in the back. That's where they do the mice experiments and stuff.
Interesting. So they give you false memories? Can that also correlate to like mind wiping? Because I have a feeling that that's where she's from, right? Like she was there at one point.
Kagari, are you familiar with this university? Huh?
She suddenly realized that Luca was looking confused.
I mean, you seemed to know a lot about it.
The TV was showing something that looked like a lab. Oh, that's Kuditz and Maho's lab, okay. At least it looks like it. The camera went toward the back of the room. A white door was opened that led to the next room. After seeing the results of the experiments on mice performed here, the research team...
No, I don't. But just now...
That's right. She wasn't familiar with it. She didn't know anything about any place like this. But...
I don't know. I don't know. But... for some reason, it suddenly feels like I do.
There was suddenly a piercing pain in the back of her head. It felt like the beginning of something terrifying. She suddenly felt very nervous. Okay. What the heck? Yeah, she's been there, dude. She had her mind wiped there, bro. Listen, I'm not doing it because you asked me to. Just don't forget that. Thank you. This morning, I'd gone to Tenoji and asked him to protect Kagari if something happened. Oh, so he repeated this part, okay. That meant I had to talk to him about his role as a rounder again. And I had to tell him that Kagari was caught up in something big, too. But since this was the second time I had that conversation, I was able to make it go a little smoother. That was only relative to the first time, though. I never wanted to ask him for anything like this ever again. So, Okabe, what the heck are you people involved in? I stopped myself. You can't say, huh? You'll ask me for a favor, but you won't say anything? I'm sorry. That's good, though. What? Information is your final trump card. If you had just come out and told me, I would have called this whole thing off. Anyway, just be careful. Thank you, sir. Interesting. It's being kinda nice. I get it. Don't be so polite. That makes it so darn hard to deal with you. I bowed once more to him anyway, and left the Braun Tube workshop. I'd managed to get Tenoji's help. And this morning, I'd gotten another person on my side as well. Moeka Kiryu, I was just gonna say. She was a lot easier than Tenoji. I'd checked with Daru last night and found that just like in the old world line, we'd hired her to find out more about Kagari. All I had to do was ask her to keep looking into what Kagari had been doing before she'd come to this town. Now I'd done everything I could in case something happened. All that was left was to pray that nothing did. I got back to the lab, where Lukaku was waiting. He had a very serious look on his face, and he said he needed to talk to me.
There's something bothering me about Kagari's memories.
Kagari's memories?
Yeah, but I don't know if it will help bring them back.
That's fine. If something's bothering you, just tell me.
Okay.
Lucas started to fidget and rub his knees together. Then he looked up at me and slowly opened his mouth.
Last night, they were doing a special on memory research on TV. It was about an American university. When Kagari saw it, she acted like she recognized the school.
An American college? Which one?
It had a really complicated name. I think it was Victor Condor?
Victor Condria University?
Oh, that's right. That's the place.
Victor Condria University? That was where Kudets had studied. Kagari knew Victor Condria? If that was true, then how? The most obvious possibility was that she went there too. But how would a kid who went missing in Japan go to an American school? And one of the best at that? Of course, it wasn't impossible, but dude, she's a spy, bro, or she's like she was an agent. Something happened. All I know is that she has a tie to Eskinen somehow because of Victor Condria. That's all I know.
What do you think? Is this a clue?
I can't say anything just based off of that, but
I see.
Lukaku's shoulders slumped in disappointment. But that doesn't mean it's not a clue.
What? Then...
Yeah, it's worth checking out.
What did you want to talk to me about?
The best way to find out was to talk to her directly. Kagari was just about to start work, and she seemed put off by the fact that I'd suddenly asked to speak to her. Can you wait just a second? I've asked another person to join us.
Another person?
I didn't know a lot about Victor Condria myself, but Maho would. I could ask Kagari what she knew about the school, but I couldn't tell if her information was accurate or not. There was a better person she could ask. Someone who should be here any minute. Yep.
Excuse me.
The best way to find out about the school was to ask someone who actually went there. In fact, Maho was, to this day, a part of their brain science lab.
Oh, Maho. Hello. Hi. How have you been?
Maho still didn't know that Kagari was from the future. I'd have to keep her from finding out.
You know, she really does look like Kudets.
Maho stared at Kagari, then whispered so that only I could hear. It made sense. I'd been surprised myself. I started by explaining to Maho why I'd brought her here.
So what? You think she might have gone to my school? Wait a second. I don't know anything about this Victor Condra what's-its place. Victor Condry University. See? I didn't even remember the name.
But yesterday you acted like you recognized it. Right, Lukaku?
Yeah. You said they did mice experiments in the back room. And then after that, they actually showed the experiments in that room.
Do you remember that, Kagari?
I don't.
I couldn't imagine Lukaku would lie, or that there would be any point to him doing so. But the same was true for Kagari, too.
Urashibara, do you remember where the lab was? I don't know the details, but they said that they were doing research on memories and the brain. Which means it might have been the brain science lab.
The brain science lab? That's where
I work.
And also where Kudits worked, too. Then, Kagari may have met you and Kudits?
It's just a possibility. There's more than one place that researches brain science. And it's not just grad students where I work. There are a lot of regular scientists, too. Even I haven't met everyone at the lab. But if I saw another Japanese person there, I'm sure I'd remember that.
Which meant she didn't remember it. Which meant she probably hadn't met her. Lukaku, was there anything else about Kagari that you've noticed?
Kagari sometimes knows about things that are really complicated.
It's like they're interrogating her.
Hey, I know some complicated things.
Kagari pouted. That was one expression that was totally different from Kudits's.
For example? Roses and depression?
What? Those were just words that were complicated to write in Japanese.
They were doing a special on fake memories last night, and you seemed like you knew a lot about it. Fake memories, huh? Yeah, one of the teams is working on that. We went to talk to them one time.
Kagari, can you talk about that now?
I don't really know. Did I really talk about that stuff?
What, she doesn't remember now? Oh, that's weird. Huh.
You did!
She put her hand between her eyebrows and thought. She really didn't remember, it seemed. Has this happened a lot before?
Not that much until recently. It suddenly started happening over the last few days.
I didn't know how Kagari could know things about Victor Condria, but it clearly had something to do with her missing memories. If I followed the trail a little longer, I might learn some clues. It was possible I might be able to bring back her memories. Suddenly, she started to moan in pain. Uh-oh.
Kagari? What's wrong? My head. Kind of. It hurts?
Lukaku was looking at her face, worried.
Yeah, just a bit.
Want to lie down a little?
I'm fine.
Maybe this is all too sudden.
That's right. We may have put too much stress on her.
Maho was looking worried too.
Are you really okay? Yeah, I'm fine. Thank you, Senpai. I hope so.
The conversation was so natural that Maho and I almost missed it. Hey, did she just... Interesting. Yeah, Senpai, what?
Yeah, she called me Senpai. Huh?
Kagari, you just called Hyajo Senpai, right?
No way. I didn't. No, you definitely did. Urashibara, you heard it too, right? Yes.
Senpai, the Japanese word used to address an older classmate or colleague. Oh, right, yeah. I forgot. Yeah, I was thinking that it was just kind of like a common phrase or something, but yeah, no, that would make sense. That meant that she would have known her in a different, like from the past in some place. What? How come Maho don't remember? I just learned that Maho and Kagari hadn't met at Victor Condria. Did that mean that it was just a mistake? The sound of footsteps coming up the stairs distracted me. They were so heavy, there was no need to wonder who it was. Daru. Hey.
Hello.
Oh, you're here, Mahotan?
Don't call me that.
Do I have enough? 1, 2, 3... He ignored Maho's complaint and started to count the number of people in the room. There was some kind of paper bag in his hands. Okay, I've got enough. Enough what? You know how they opened a new atoll in front of the station? They were selling some good-looking pudding. I thought it might be a nice treat, so I brought enough for everybody. Oh, that was nice of you. He put down the bag, opened the box, and started putting the pudding cups on the table. Is that gonna, trigger Kagari or something? Daru, do it later. Why do you all look so upset? Is it that rare for me to buy something for everybody? Well, I guess it is. But I got some extra work at my job, you see. Not only am I talented, but I'm also kind-hearted, and I get paid. Feel free to fall in love, ladies. Huh? He turned the bag over and started shaking it. I'm missing a spoon. I bet the staff there forgot to put one in.
I think there's a clean spoon in the sink. Oh, I've got my own spoon I always use.
Lukako stood up to get a spoon from the sink, then suddenly stopped. He looked at Kagari with a confused expression. Huh, what?
Kagari, do you own a spoon? Huh? I thought all you had with you was the Upa keychain, right? Huh? That's right, isn't it? That's strange. Why did I say I had one?
Her own spoon. I'd heard someone say that before. Not many people carried their own spoons around. It was common in Japan to carry around your own personal set of chopsticks lately, but not spoons.
Wait, is that Kudits? Didn't Kudits say that? Kudits said that, didn't she? Because that was the joke that she made. That was the way that in the other game that we would know if it was we could tell her that we knew stuff about her because or that we were from a different world line because we would say about the fork, right? And that she carried her own spoon. That was a freaking Kudits thing. No way did her freaking memories get put into to Kagari's. No way did I call that bullcrap, except I said it was Amadeus. But was it Amadeus that they put into her head, or was it actually... I'm freaking out right now. Wait a minute here. Am I freaking super smart, dude? But I knew. I had known someone who carried around her own spoon. It was... Kudet's Makase. Just a moment ago, she'd called Maho senpai. Did Kagari know Kudet's after all? Hey, Hiajo. How many people called you senpai in America?
Just one. It's a Japanese word, and a Japanese concept after all.
There was no need to even ask who it was.
The only one who called me senpai was Kudet's. Kudet's?
Kagari, do you know a girl named Kudet's Makase?
Kudet's Makase.
Did she know her, and was she imitating her? But why would she need to do that?
Kudet's Makase.
Kagari seemed to be desperately searching her memories, but it didn't seem to be working. There was sweat on her forehead. Her headache might still be bothering her. Don't force yourself. There's no need to remember immediately.
No. It feels creepy leaving it like this. Do you feel like you can remember something? I don't know. Try saying something, Okarin.
Huh? What's going on here? The fact that Kagari responded this strongly to Kudet's name meant that there had to be some relationship. What could there possibly be? The question was this. What had Kagari been doing ever since she separated from Suzuha in 1998? If she never met Maho, did she ever meet Kudet's? Maybe she became friends with Kudet's and learned a lot about her. Then she'd gotten Kudet's stories mixed up with her own memories? Or... I remembered the machine that Kudet's had developed in the Alpha World line and came up with a certain hypothesis. Right, like that her own mind could have been put into hers. Right, that like Kudet's mind could have accidentally been put into Kagari's, but Kagari would have needed a phone. Unless... No, she would have had to have had a phone, right? I think that's how the time leap machine still worked. She didn't say it was different with the new version, so I don't know. I quickly told myself that was impossible. My eyes met Maho's. She nodded. Okay, Kagari. Let me ask you some questions. For now, I wanted to learn how much Kagari knew about Kudet's. Where is your father?
Daddy died when I was a kid.
If her memories were mixed with Kudet's, she wouldn't say that. Those were Kagari's memories. Interesting. But it doesn't mean that like there isn't some overlap though, right? Because remember, we didn't know what would happen. Like Kudet's had said initially, she's like, I don't know what could happen if someone got someone else's memories, like how that could totally mess up their mind. So, I don't know. Bro, what if? Yo, what if in this ending, what if Maho actually does know her, but she tried to turn this girl who looks exactly like Kudet's into Kudet's by putting Amadeus's memories inside of her head, but then when she couldn't figure it out, she got her brain wiped, and then, like, somehow Kagari ended up outside of the place or something, but that was in America, so how would she have ended up here? It's just a theory, but like, what if, dude? That'd be so screwed, dude. Oh, no.
She said she remembered everything from before she was 10 years old. She'd only lost her memories after she'd separated from Suzuha in 1998. I'd have to go a little deeper. Then what does the word Kuri Gohan mean to you? They also could have gotten her to try to figure out how the time machine worked and what she knew, right? Because remember, they played with Okabe's head in the first route to get the information on time machine stuff. So I wonder if they might have tried to do that with her, but she didn't have all the information like Okabe did. I don't know.
Kuri Gohan? What are you talking about?
Answer me, please, Kagari.
Kuri Gohan. Kamehameha.
Oh! It's Amadeus's. It is Amadeus's. It's gotta be. There's gotta be like a mixture in there with Amadeus. Everyone else seemed confused, but I felt as if my heart was about to stop. How could she know? Kuri Gohan and Kamehameha was Kuritz's @channel handle. Not only did she keep that a secret, she almost never let anyone know that she posted on @channel. She never would have told anyone. How could Kagari know something that only Kuritz should know? More sweat was pouring down Kagari's forehead. Luca offered her a handkerchief, worried. Kagari nodded and took it. Kagari, can you tell me how many major theories of time travel there are? Maho looked like she wanted to say something, but I motioned for her to stay quiet.
11.
Kagari spoke clearly, as if the answer was the most obvious thing in the world.
11 in total. Wait, is that right?
I hadn't expected much when I'd asked the question. I certainly hadn't expected that. The terrifying possibility I'd thought of earlier was becoming more and more real. It was impossible. It had to be. The more I tried to convince myself, the more my fears grew. Oh, what did Kuritz do? Oh no, because she's the one that had the time leap machine after we would have left the Alpha World line, right? Did she like... Because, well, no, because the world line changes as soon as like the reading Steiner kicks in and we get the whole numbers thing. That means that the world fixed itself, so Kuritz wouldn't have had time to do anything after Okabe left. I don't know, dude. This is freaking... I don't understand. Can you tell me what these 11 theories are?
Neutron star theory, and then black hole theory, light speed theory, tachyon theory, wormhole theory, exotic matter theory.
Kagari was counting with her fingers and speaking with very little hesitation.
Cosmic string theory, quantum gravity theory, cesium laser theory, elementary particle ring and laser theory, and lastly, Dirac antiparticle theory. Those are all correct.
Maho's voice was hoarse.
Tell me, Okabe, how do I know all this?
Kagari looked like she was about to cry a little. Can I ask you one more thing? Could you use those theories to build a time machine?
I don't think so.
Oh. Interesting.
Oh, but even if you couldn't use these 11 theories, science may invent a new theory that works someday.
Why do you think so?
Why? That's because... I don't know.
Then let me ask another question. How did you arrive at that conclusion?
I don't know. Just somehow I knew.
She knew, huh? That meant the knowledge existed inside of her. But why did she have that knowledge? Had she been to TheFatRat at some time in the past and met Kudits there? Maybe they were close friends. So close that Kudits would share her @channel nickname, which she never told anyone? And then perhaps she mistook what she'd heard from Kudits for her own memories. That was the most obvious possibility. But that would go against what Kudits had said. Kudits said she didn't really have any close friends in America, true. She seemed to have developed a solid relationship with Maho at work, but the dark fear in my mind kept growing. Hey, Hiajo. Remember how you said Amadeus was put on hold? Does the uploaded memory data for Kudits still exist?
Huh? Yeah, probably. I don't think it was erased.
How many people could access that?
Very few. We never really announced it anywhere. Myself, Dr. Leskinen, a few of the other assistants, and then Kudits.
Another question. Would it be possible to transfer that memory data to a human brain?
Huh?
In the other world line, Maho herself, or Dr. Leskinen to be precise, had said something about that at the ATF seminar. And I had experienced it myself. Through a machine that digitized human memories, sent them through time, and then back to the same person's brain. It didn't exist in this world line, but I'd once lived in a world line where it was developed in this very room. I'd used it far more times than I ever wanted to. And because of that experience, I came up with an idea. A terrifying idea. Another way to explain what was happening to Kagari now.
What are you getting at?
Kudits was the one who had her own personal spoon. She was the only one who called you senpai at school. Kuri Gohan and Kamehameha was Kudits' handle on @channel. I'm the only one who knew about it besides her. Kudits would know about the lab at TheFatRat. She would know about the mouse experiments. She would know about the 11 theories of time travel.
Oh, Karin. What do you mean? What are you trying to say?
This is my idea. I looked around the room at everyone, then back at Kagari. Kagari, it's possible that you may have Kudits Makase's memories inside of you.
No!